when it
That's such a
works for
good point.
you, when it works for you, you can do it,
Right.
even though you're a lying sack of dog dookie. But when it's the truth, no.
Sorry. Dookie. Okay, we
You know
gotta
that
make
word
a
is about
t-shirt
to,
of that. Yeah.
yeah.
We gotta make a t-shirt that says dog dookie. That
Or
this
yellow.
government's full of dog dookie.
They're a bunch of yellow
Oh,
belly,
thanks for that laugh. That
slimy
was good. That was
slugs.
good.
Well, I
I
checked
know what you
myself.
wanted to say because it
Yes,
almost came out of my mouth too.
yes.
Hi, welcome to Texas Tough Chicks. We're glad you're here. If it's your first time here, welcome. If you're coming back for your poison, we're glad you're here. I'm Gwen and this is Viv, and we are going to be discussing some events that are going on in our country right now. And we were doing a kind of a prep for like, what are we going to cover? What's the most priority that we need to cover? And our list got longer and longer and longer.
Crazy.
So I don't know.
Well, you know,
it all start off.
Well, it all kind of ties together. So let's start with the big thing that they're going to be voting on. I'm going to let you actually talk about that one, because, all right, explain to me why. Here's what I would love to see: one bill, one item. In other words, money for the border,
relevant item.
Right, but not to have 1,000-page document that they don't have the time to read, and there's all kind of crap buried in it. For example, I heard this latest one has funding for a full-term abortion, up to full term, abortion up to full term. And even if you're okay with abortion at all, to full term, come on, give me a break.
Right, because we already know the majority of America does not agree with full-term abortion.
They don't.
That is the reality.
That is infanticide.
In America.
That is murder.
The majority of people don't even like abortion. Okay. This is so frustrating. 1,100 freaking plus pages.
Yes.
To keep our government open. Okay, shut it down. Shut it down. What are they doing for us? What are they doing? They're giving billions of dollars of our taxpaying money to Ukraine and funding for
illegal aliens.
And not that, undocumented Democratic voters. That's what they are. They're not illegal aliens anymore.
Right.
They are undocumented Democratic voters, because that's exactly why the Democrats want them in here. And they're funding them to come in. They're giving them places to live. They're giving them money for living, which no American has the right to that.
No.
It's like, what is our government doing for us? Tell me what our government's. They're not protecting our border. We just had a rush on the border in Texas where 100 plus. If you look at them, not one child, not one woman in that group.
Fighting age men.
Through the first barrier. Our poor border patrol was sitting there, couldn't do anything because the stupid stay that a appellate court put on the Supreme Court. Tell me how that happened.
I don't know.
Overrule the Supreme Court.
I don't know. Section 212 of the Constitution, whatever it is, it talks about that the president has the power at any point that the United States is threatened to shut the border. And that jackass in the White House, he sits there and says, well, if the Republicans would just pass the bill, I would sign it. You don't
pass
need
the
a
bill on abortion. That's what he wants. He wants to pass the bill with all this BS
and more funding to freaking Ukraine and every other damn thing that they want to do. I'm sorry. I'm just sick of them. I'm sick of all of them.
Okay, so they give this 1,100 page, I don't even know what you call it. It's not a bill, but it's like
piece of garbage
instructions on how to keep this is what's going to keep our budget, basically, right?
Keep the government.
They've never been able to do anything but add to our budget, right?
Right.
And they give it to the congressman to make a decision on it. Within a day, they give it to 2 a.m. in the morning. Okay, I'm sorry, 1,100 pages. You get it at 2 a.m. in the morning. That is.
I read fast, but it takes me probably 3 hours to read 100 pages.
Right.
Exactly.
You don't think our enemies are watching this?
Oh, and he sold us out already.
And knowing how weak our president is.
Well,
and we're going to elect this man. I mean, no, we're not. I'm not.
We're not.
Okay, but if anyone thinks this is a good idea, elect this man for another 4 years. They're going to have to wheel him out on a dolly with an IV attached to him for him to even stay awake for a press conference.
Right. I heard today, another thing I heard today is home foreclosures are up, rapidly rising across the United States. It's the worst in decades, a 61% increase from 4 years ago. Who was president 4 years ago? Donald Trump. So 61% increase in foreclosures across the country. And that came from real estate. I mean, that's not government. That's a real estate database that came from.
Oh, yeah. Not to mention, we just saw the video of the lady. If you have real estate
and
it's empty, you better watch out, because guess what? The undocumented Democratic voters are coming in and they're squatting, and then they have renters' rights.
Right.
And they arrested this lady who owned the property because she changed the lock on her house to keep, because the squatter was already living there. So she changed the lock because she has every right. And he says he has a lease. Not with her, he just claims he has a lease, some random lease, but he couldn't show the document. They put her in handcuffs and they took her and arrested her.
Right. It's like, this is not America. But isn't that the globalist point?
Look at every single one of our freaking cities, our large cities, has some kind of filth all over
they're hellholes.
Streets. Fecal matter. I almost said
right. Well, drugs. I know.
You step over the human waste. Do you think
step
any
over
of our
the
grandparents
people.
or even our parents ever experienced anything like that? That is Biden's administration right there.
Right. It's the Democrats.
It's right there in front of your face, and then they have the nerve to whine about it. Right. They have the nerve to whine, to sit there and complain about it. Okay, no sanctuary city should say anything. I'm sorry.
No.
You opened yourself up for that.
Yes.
You were the one who invited that.
Yes, you did.
And then on top of it, we have all the corruption all over, and attacking our children. Just one thing after another, after another, and it's just So we're allowing all these people to come in. We don't know if they're carrying weapons. We don't know if they're carrying bioweapons. We don't know if what their intentions are. And then on top of it, they could be terrorists, and we could be now funding them by giving them housing and now giving them stipend. Great. On top of that, on top of all of that, we are allowing idiots to control our children.
Yes.
We are absolutely letting them put pornography into our schools. We're letting them have drag queens teach our children. We're allowing them to brainwash our children with the Palestinian flag in their classroom.
Right.
What the hell is going on? What is going on? It's insanity.
Yep.
It's absolutely insane. This has happened so quickly. It's like a spiral. And then on top of it, we got an eclipse coming. And guess what? It's so interesting. We have this eclipse coming. And, I'm trying not to go down the conspiracy theory, but I mean, come on. This is crazy. April 8th, gonna go. We have total blackout out over, I think, Dallas Fort Worth. I think that's what they're saying.
Yeah, I think that.
At that same day, we have what they call the quote unquote devil comet passing by by the Earth.
Weird.
Kind of interesting there, isn't it?
Yep.
Telling of like where we're at right now. It's just, is it coincidental? Could it be possibly coincidental? All of this is happening all at the same time.
Well, I don't know about you, but I do not remember ever having 2 eclipses within 1 year cycle.
Right.
And we had one last summer.
I'm sure it's happened. But
well, it probably has,
but not in our lifetime. Yeah.
So that just seems really weird too.
What we can do is vote. That's. I mean, we still have that freedom, and not only vote, we need to stand over those counters. There needs to be someone that is witnessing that those votes don't get tampered with. And you know what? When they board something off, we need to have 15 people with their cameras right there, taping that, making sure that gets out on social media. And if you get shut down in YouTube, then you need to go to another social media, and we need to just say, no, this is happening.
And I realize Trump, has his flaws. I mean, we all do. We all have our flaws. But there is nobody out there that loves America more than this man and is dedicated to doing what is right for we the people.
You know what I have? Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
You know what? I have the most respect for him. He's willing to fight the administration.
Right.
He doesn't look at.
Oh,
Has anyone gone through what he's gone through? They
mm-mm.
are threatening to take everything
Oh,
away from
yes.
him, and he
And that
still
was,
stands there and fights. And if
mhm.
there is anyone that's Texas tough, it is Trump, because
It is
whether
absolutely.
you agree with him 100% or not, that man has
Yep.
gone through so much
Yeah.
persecution,
Mhm.
and stood firm and said, "No, I still love America. No, I
Right.
still want to. I still
Right.
want to save
Right.
America from this
Yep.
mess that Biden has got us into."
And you look, the other thing too is you look at all the chaos that's going with the border situation, all these people coming in illegally, $1,000 Tree stores closing,
Yeah.
all this stuff that's happening, the foreclosures,
Oh,
such
all of
chaos.
the big box stores closing, or I just
Yes,
saw
yes.
that Home Depot had to
Yeah,
put up this
yep,
huge fence
yep,
because they were having so many people walk out, and
yep.
they can't do
Mhm.
anything. It's
Oh,
just
yeah, all the theft of all these stores and stuff like that. So you've got all this chaos going on, and that's what they're saying, that that's another thing, that they're setting it up so that come time to vote, that Biden will declare martial law or say something that, oh no, in all this chaos, we just can't have an election. That
right,
worries me too. Well,
right. Yeah.
talk about a civil war. There's going to be half the country's going to be going, oh no, 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 no. What was it? They had the hearings, I guess the judicial hearings, with all the Biden stuff. And of course, Hunter defied him again and just didn't show up. Why isn't he arrested? Why isn't he arrested for contempt of
You think if
Congress?
one of the Trump kids didn't show up, they
Oh
wouldn't
my
throw them
God.
in jail
Yes.
immediately? Yeah.
Right.
I just
But just remember, it's like Trump said, he goes, they're not after me. He goes, they're after you, and I'm just in their way. And that is where we are, because right
yeah.
now we have people on the other side of the aisle saying that people who are MAGA, who support Trump, are terrorists. That is so, World War II, man. Let's paint the Jews as being the evil
And
people so
at
we
the
can
same
justify
time,
killing
they're
them.
letting the terrorists across our border and
Right.
funding them and
Right.
funding them.
The real terrorists, the real terrorists.
They
Yes, they
need
are.
to maintain control because they have to
Right.
confiscate all of our land. They have to get us
Mhm.
all piled into cities. They have to
Yep.
put us all under electricity that they can control with a switch. So that way
Yep.
they can control us, right?
Mhm.
They have to put
Right.
all these stupid solar fields up in all of this livestock land. We're driving
Right.
across the country. There's acres, thousands of acres
Mhm.
with solar cells, right? So low that no livestock can utilize that land at all.
Mm-mm.
Zero.
Oh, nothing. Well, and it sterilizes the soil beneath it. That soil
Right.
beneath all those
And you
solar
know
farms
this.
is sterilized like down 18 inches. So then you've killed all the mycorrhiza and all the good stuff that's in the soil. So even if they take them out, they have to do massive, massive work restoring that soil to be functional.
So they're killing off our soil. They're
Mhm.
they're making sure our livestock have no place to graze.
Cutting
They're
down
putting in
trees.
they're putting in what do you call it? It wouldn't be sustainable energy because you are completely reliant on direct sunlight. Yeah,
Right.
they're in sunny areas, but
Yep.
yeah, we
Yep.
still get floods, and we still have we
Hey,
have days of weeks of no sun. So how
go
does
back
that
to Snowmageddon. Was it 2 years
right?
ago in Texas? The reason that the grid was going down was because neither the solar nor the wind was
Right.
working. The solar obviously was covered in ice. The wind generators were iced up, so it didn't work. It
Yep.
didn't work, and people died.
So, I mean, where are we at with all this? The most crucial thing is happening in November. Well, first of all, get prepped, like get prepared, because our
Yep.
government is not going to come and save you if something
Nope.
happens. And
Nope.
we are so weak, we could be under attack any minute. Okay,
Yeah.
so get prepared for that. But the
Mhm.
second thing is make sure you get your votes in. You have
Mhm.
to vote. You have to vote.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
And
You
if you're a
do.
Democrat, don't vote. I'm just
Right.
saying, don't vote. We don't need
Or
you
wake
anymore.
up, or wake up and see that your party is failing you, that
Right.
they don't care about you personally. They care about your vote. Right.
Because they
Yep.
don't want you to be in control. They want to control you. They want to be
Yep.
your master. So
Right.
come on, join the party.
Right. Get Texas tough. We got to be Texas
Get
tough.
Texas tough. It's time. We need
Yes.
you. So
Yep.
glad you were here. Sorry we're so fiery today, but there's
We're kind
so
of
much
ranty.
that pisses us off.
Yeah.
We'll see you next time.
Take care. on the whole EV stuff because I've got something right here
Oh,
about
yeah.
the EV particles are vastly greater than the gas powered, but they pollute at a higher rate. It's 1,850 times more pollutants than a gas powered.
Oh my goodness.
And they said that the heavy weight of the vehicles cuts through the tires, so there's all that tire debris and stuff. And then they release chemicals. They weigh 30 times more than cars.